cannot bend the knee to the high towers. They stole your birthright.
House of the Dragon, episode 10. Here's the season finale, guys. Action. What is going on, everybody? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela Calian.
And this is House of the Dragon. I can't believe it. It's season finale, guys. This is crazy.
No.
I just can't believe it. I really can't. Season finale, you know, this whole week... this whole season went by so quickly. It really did. It didn't feel like at all that we got 10 episodes and they went by so quickly. My Sundays are gonna suck now from now on for the rest. I mean, granted, we're getting White Lotus coming out next week, but it's still not Game of Thrones. It's not the Game of Thrones spinoff that was promised. Yeah. It's not the Dancing of the Dragons. Let's get right to it, Angela. Oh man, this crazy episode starts. Episode 10. The Black Queen is titled here. A lot of mischief, so much of the game, really, of the game of like who's truly the heir of the seven kingdoms. Who is it? Is it the queen? Is it the king? So much different scenarios we got in this. The opening sequence though was phenomenal. I enjoy it, and I'll say it all the time. I enjoy that intro, whether you like it or hate it. People are gonna say, "Oh, they were poorly." It was just Game of Thrones music. And again, I saw it more on Twitter. We're upset about like they didn't change it again. They still haven't changed it. You know, we the fans, we demand a change. I'm like, dude, it's the song of like Star Wars. It's the song. It's not gonna get changed. You know, it's the whole essence.
It's synonymous with Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
sorry,
of course.
Sorry,
exactly.
Not sorry.
Exactly. But let's get right to it, Angela. What did you think of this whole episode? Let's go through these events that were happening, man.
Obviously, it picks up right where the last episode left off.
Yeah.
Princess Rhaenys escapes on Dragonback. She's gone to warn Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
And she lands at Dragonstone and has to deliver the news that not only her father's died, but that her throne has been usurped. She has been nixed.
It's crazy.
So that's crazy. And I guess the stress of that news sends a pregnant Rhaenyra to labor prematurely, unfortunately.
Yeah, that whole scene right there where we see pregnant Rhaenyra, it really shows, and for me, right? I mean, obviously, it really shows the essence of, obviously how difficult childbirth can be in those times, right? I mean, even so in our time, right? Of course, but like just the whole essence of it, it really shows. I was just like, obviously, it went into straight detail, especially the, I don't want to say, I guess you could say the gore or the.
It's just like, that's how childbirth is.
Yeah, that's how it, I mean, essentially it's how it was.
It's brutal to watch it, but, unfortunately, she gives a stillborn birth, you know, unfortunately, the baby doesn't survive.
Yeah, there's no crying or nothing. It's definitely I think it's a strong scene for Rhaenyra. To show us that, like, not only is she lost her kingdom, she's lost
her father.
She's been waiting all these. Granted, she's been waiting all these years, and she's been named, the next heir of the throne. And Starks, they all swore allegiance to her. And knowing that the world is upside down, knowing that not only is her father dead, her father passed away, which she does love and cherish, and everything and we saw the last episode too. Even so. Viserys did love and cherish her. Of course, they didn't really go into too much of the details because I feel like we haven't gotten to it yet. But in the book, we did the spark notes of it, was that there's rumors going around that Alicent might have poisoned the king in order to take over the throne. But again, though,
she did.
I mean,
she did.
Oh man,
yeah, no, she did. But yeah, so we see also as Rhaenyra, she had that childbirth scene. Yeah. We also see her and Daemon's different reactions to the news.
Definitely,
Daemon is really ready to start a war over everything. Like you say, everyone's a traitor. A lot of these houses pledge fealty to Rhaenyra, and they're backing out. They're now backing the Hightowers, and now you see Rhaenyra has to make that difficult decision of like, is war really necessary? She takes more of her father's take on it, where she needs her duty is to keep the realm together. Maybe not so much start a whole rebellion that's gonna and a lot of bloodshed. So you see that really highlighted in this episode. Their different approaches to what's the next thing is going to happen.
Yeah, and that's the struggle, really, because she just became. She essentially hasn't even become queen yet, and now she has to fight a war that. I don't even sure if she like because Damon's really the star, and I'm 100% for Damon. I really am, because that Allison Snake, I think he calls her, the snake stole my brother. That whore of a queen stole my brother, dude. Okay, the Damon. Okay. Let's time out real quick. Let's time out real quick. Let's time out. Okay. First off, who in the hell loves those Damien one-liners? I do. I freaking love, whether they're cuss words or whatever. I don't care. They're hilarious. The whore of a queen and then the cunt of a king. That was hilarious. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you're for Bad Words or you're against them. That was freaking hilarious. I loved it. That was
Damon's
brilliant.
Funny.
The one-liners make me laugh so much because he just gives his little one remarks. Matt Smith
is great. I love him.
Oh my god. And again, this is coming from me coming from a guy that did not watch Doctor Who, has never watched Doctor Who really, and people were saying, "Oh, he's great at Doctor Who." And I was all like, "Well, I mean, I can't really say because I never watched Doctor Who." He and also in Holmes, and so like it was just I was very optimistic about it. I really was. I was like, "Oh, I mean, he could do good." You never know. And so then, obviously, with his one-liners, the way he's embodied this character. Dude, I mean, I was never gonna say he wasn't gonna fulfill his role. I never thought that one bit. It was just I was more like not
surprised
for it, but you were for it 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
As soon as it casted him, it's like right on.
Yeah, and now I'm 100% on it. But yeah, I mean, Damon and those one-liners are just, and it's funny because you could see his facial reaction where he goes like this. He goes like, dude. His facial expressions when he says his sayings are just 100. Like, I believe exactly what he says. That's crazy.
It's so funny because like he's such a controlled, like emotion. Like he's not like over the top, angry, destroying everything. He's like, it's so controlled. Like you can tell he's angry, upset, ready to go to war. But like it's here. It's held in his face. Yeah. He's calm, and that's a scary kind of angry, when someone's calm and they hold it in, because you just don't quite know what Damon's capable of.
Dude, I don't. That's the thing too, and we really have no clue and that's the thing I kind of like about his character though, is that we don't know what the hell he's gonna do next.
He's very unpredictable. We can't peg him. So again, brilliant performance by Matt Smith, brilliant performance by Emma Darcy. So
And we see the funeral of her son,
which is very like a mirror to Viserys in the first episode with the mom and the baby. So it's very much like the moment where she kind of almost becomes her father, and it also that's the scene where Sir Eric brings her Viserys' crown. And
yes, let's talk about that. So that again, I talk about when we talk about Game of Thrones scenes, they are just they're just how do you say, they're so monumental when it comes down to these certain moments of this season. And the very beginning of this season, the young Rhaenyra, there were so many different scenes that I loved her in, and for her age to act that way, it's certainly hard of its own. It really is. And knowing where we got this, we get the King Viserys' own crown. And my God, that crown looks so beautiful on Rhaenyra. That whole iconic scene, and I'll remember that because I'm gonna have to rewatch this episode. We're gonna rewatch it again, probably nonstop for the next 2 years, right? Until we get the next Game of Thrones.
I know, 2024.
Yeah, that's what we're estimating, right? Because it could happen sooner, but we're probably gonna say 2 years. Essentially, this whole crown scene where Daemon actually is holding on to, he's looking at it. I just feel the emotion. That's the thing with Game of Thrones and with this House of Dragons. You've always felt the emotions through them. It's weird. Is that weird to say? Like with Arya, with Jon Snow, with Sansa Stark, you feel that. It's a weird feeling that you almost have a sense to where obviously you're not put in certain situations, like a woman and a male, but it's like you kind of feel for them a lot. You really do. And the way Daemon looked at the crown, God, that was so monumental of its own, right? Because him just thinking of his brother, thinking of how much he loved his brother, even though all the decisions that he made were so stupid.
And they grew apart, towards the end. You feel that love. He's always had love for his brother, but also in that moment when, he
puts it on her. Oh
she's crowned and all those people bow to her. That's really the moment that she transitions into her succession role.
Yeah, the music really kicks in. I love that. The House of the Dragon really kicks in. The whole everyone bows down to the queen of the realm, the queen of the seven kingdoms that she's claiming to be. And that's the thing too. It's just like, it's so, oh my God, it's so like, why did they have cell phones back then? They could have just been like, hey, yeah, oh yeah,
this was like long time ago. Very long time ago.
This whole catastrophe is literally because of miscommunication between so many different people, so many different realms on the different sides of the Narrow Sea and all that. We see so many different times where like it's so. The miscommunication in this whole
the main one was literally on Viserys' deathbed.
Alicent,
Alicent mistook, Viserys was thinking he was talking to Rhaenyra. Alicent didn't know the context of what he was saying, picked and choose words. Bam, forever changed, right? Yeah. Now, you could ponder the question of if that never happened and, she never said anything. Yeah. Would this still happen? Because the council was planning.
I mean,
regardless,
it was going to happen no matter what.
Right. Yeah. So it might have happened regardless, but still, you see after Rhaenyra is crowned. Yeah. This is really her first move of like, as a new queen, should she proceed with this war? Yeah. Take back the Iron Throne, or what other options do they have? They don't have a big army. They have a pretty small army.
That's the thing too. So they actually go into depth on which I really did not know. A lot of factors we did not know. So Daemon actually talks about it. They don't have enough swords to really take over the Red Cape. They really don't. That I knew that already. We knew that Dragonstone. We knew they didn't have the manpower. But oh my God, I did not know they had 13 dragons.
And
that's insane.
That's insane for one, but two. You have to approach it smartly. You may not have the numbers. Yeah. But... And
Rhaenyra mentioned something. She says, I don't want to rule over ash.
And bone.
Yeah, ash and bone.
And she makes a point. Because, what's the point of... When she said, it's been noted in history, when dragons go to war against other dragons, everything burns. And she doesn't want to be that queen. She sounds... Almost like Dany.
Yeah, I was going to say, she almost sounds like Dany.
Where they don't want to just unleash... fiery hell upon everybody. Yeah. And you like I said, that's her dad's teachings in her. What's the best thing to do for the realm, So she kind of really has that power struggle right there. Yeah. That decision to make as queen. What does she do? What are the next steps?
Because Daemon's 100% on board. He's already like, let's go, let's fight.
And her council too. Like they're already saying, okay, well we need to make sure we get this house, who's on our side, who's not. Yeah. Figuring it out. So everyone has this plan, and so it's really like her, decision. And then we also see that, Otto and his party
they
kind of show up.
Otto, let's go, dude. I hate you, son of a bitch.
He proposes to Rhaenyra, recognize Aegon as the true king, and he basically will live and keep what's promised to you. I like how she meets them on Dragonback to kind of reassert like her claim, kind of like, I'm not to be messed with. I really like that scene.
And we see Otto really conversate with Daemon and all this stuff. And of course, Daemon he's the first one to bring out his sword. He's the first one to strike. Even so, Otto comes in, he comes in very calmly. Daemon, of course, is all like, what the F is that? What are you handing to Rhaenyra? And
they were so angry.
I just can't stop looking at Rhaenyra in this scene because her crown is shiny. Like dude, I don't know, but she looks so much like Viserys in those scenes. Like
I think it's fitting that she has Viserys' crown. I know Aegon has the Conqueror's crown, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I think it looks so much nice. It's so perfect on her. To be honest, it is. So then, Rhaenyra's decision when they're talking in the council if they're going to proceed with war is, really to determine which houses are on their side. Corlys and his, he's back. He's finally back.
We haven't seen him
in a while. He's confirmed.
Yeah.
He was missing for 6 years.
Yeah.
Now he's fine.
I was all like, holy crap.
He just shows how much of a badass his character is. He got stabbed in the neck and he's like lived through that, right?
Dude, Corlys. Yeah.
So he, meets them at the council and swears loyalty to Rhaenyra. I was surprised.
I was surprised too. And Rhaenyra's facial expressions, again, when we talk about facial expressions, this whole season has literally, again, Game of Thrones relied more on words, dialogue, this season of the spinoff of Game of Thrones, right, or the prequel of Game of Thrones, whatever you want to call it what you want, of this spinoff, it relies way more on facial expressions of people reacting to certain other dialogue again. But again, though, it's just weird. It's like the same soup, but yet you adding on that little spicy ingredients. I don't know, fideo. It's the same fideo, but you add on the red peppers. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just using. I'm using terrible food analogies, by the way.
But I really like that. So we see Corlys and also surprisingly Princess Rhaenys finally make amends and reaffirm their allegiance to Rhaenyra. But she even
said it though too. The princess, she even said it because she was just like, if we don't take Rhaenyra's side, they're gonna die. Their kids,
all of their kids are in danger. Not just Rhaenyra's, but her own grandchildren, her own grandchildren. So
and they're already betrothed to Rhaenyra's kids.
Yeah. So in this when Corlys reaffirms his loyalty. Rhaenyra's kids, was it Jace makes the now bad decision to have themselves go instead of ravens.
Dude, okay, so I kind of figured, I was all like, what are you doing? They're fighting the Seven Kingdoms they're literally going across.
It's a good plan in theory.
No, it's not. I never would have thought that, to send the next...
Or on paper.
But essentially though, these are the next heir to the throne, right? One of them is...
No, both of them. So Jace is the heir to the Iron Throne, and Luke is the heir to
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Why are you putting them at risk? And granted, yes, it is better than a raven, but it's like, I wouldn't have sent them. I would have told Dame, if I was Daemon, I would have been like,
I would have sent them with escorts.
Yeah, maybe.
That would have been better. Because again, they have dragons, right? Yeah. But anyways, so unfortunately, we see that decision go terribly wrong. Luke is tasked to go to Storm's End and essentially remind the Baratheon Lord there that you pledged oath to Rhaenyra, my mother. Are you going to come to her call and support her? And who is waiting there for him when he gets there?
Yeah.
It's Aemond, who Luke, accidentally cut out his eye. That one.
Oh, I think it was Lord Boris. That's who it was. It wasn't a Baratheon.
It's Boris Baratheon.
Yeah, Boris. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, duh. I was all like that.
But I you like Luke because he's nice and he's sweet, still young, super young.
Oh man.
He really wants to be like, be a man, and then you see Aemond they've already, the High Towers have already made their proposal to Baratheon.
And so let's talk about that, Aemond. So, essentially, though, I feel that he was not wanting to kill, because that's his cousin, I believe. Yeah, I feel like he didn't want that to happen. He was threatening him.
He's still bitter.
Yeah, right? He still wants to mess around with them, and I kind of
bully him.
I kind of feel like that he really was just like, we're just cousins. We're just messing around.
I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna show him what's up. I'm gonna show him who the
real man is. I'm gonna show him what he did to me. I'm gonna show him debt needs to be paid and all that. But he was just wanting to threaten him. I don't think he wanted to physically. He wanted to scare the crap out of him for sure.
And it's like all set up that something's gonna go wrong, right? Yeah. So Luke's gonna and
we're getting a lot of counter work with Luke, and I'm all like, dude, no. We know this is the history of Game of Thrones.
It's all bad, right? Luke's leaving. It's raining now. You can't see Vhagar anymore.
Right before he goes on his dragon, he says, "Be calm." Be calm. Listen to me. Focus. I'm all like, no. And the storm's here. I'm all like,
you see him fly away in the storm.
You can't even see the other dragon.
You can't see the other dragon. You hear him.
Yeah.
You can't see him. So it's just like a little almost like a scary movie. You know it's gonna happen. Something bad's gonna happen.
That whole lightning scene is so well lit. I love that lightning. That lightning scene was the best dragon fighting scene we've gotten all season. That whole, again, it was a very small fight. It was more like a getaway more than a fight, I would say. But again, though, the small little tidbit that we got between the two dragons, that was beautifully done. I thought the CGI was phenomenal. Oh my God. How can the CGI look so well lit? Even from far away, it looked lit really good.
I liked the lighting because it was lit enough to where you could see what was going on.
Yeah.
But it's not, because you get a sense of really how unnerving it is to fly, not knowing where the bigger dragon is, not seeing anything, can't even see in front of you,
and then with the lightning you see the whole shadow.
Oh my god, it's so scary. You see something bad happen. So Luke, poor Luke, he tries so hard. He knows he's not gonna win size wise.
He knows size
wise. So Eric is not gonna win against Vhagar. No way.
He
uses his speed, agility, size to kind of lose him in the rocks. Poor Eric. Well, he tries to,
he thinks he got away.
He thinks he got away.
He fires.
Finally hits that clearing. All looks good.
He looks like he's like, oh, I made it out.
And then no, we see Luke die, and it was so shocking.
Okay, let's bring it to the light here. So obviously, when he dies and everything, he goes into pieces. CGI right there, where he gets into pieces, that looks really good. So oh my god!
So bad.
But not only that, we get to see the actual face, and he was just shocked. I think he lost
everyone's
control.
shocked. So he lost control. That was the thing. Aemon lost control of Vhagar, right? So you saw him in the few moments before struggle to kind of maintain control. Not have anything happen.
He thought he was playing around. I mean, again, but you have to remember is that these are creatures. These are they're
animals.
They're animals. They're gonna react. If a cat attacks another cat, then obviously it's gonna have retaliation. And essentially, that's what this kind of was in a weird way. And
it just proves that you cannot fully 100% control dragons as much as they try to. You just can't, and it shows in this scene. And so when we saw it, we saw it coming.
Yeah.
Not just because we read it beforehand, like that Luke dies, but also just the camera work and everything. It sets it up that something bad's going to happen. But when that moment actually happens, I could swear, we just looked at each other, mouse agape, shocked. It was such a shock, right?
It was terrible.
And then you also see the shock in Aemon's face. Because, as much as he was just, like you say, bullying and just trying to show a front, he knows that he messed up. And
he's even like, Vhagar, no. He's even yelling.
He knows he messed up. And, if... As much as, it's unsure if Rhaenyra was going to go to war over, her throne being usurped and, all that. Definitely the death of her son is, they know it's going to push her over the edge.
Now it's on. If
he knows.
If it wasn't already on because of the crown and everything, maybe there could have been some alliance here. Maybe, I don't think so.
I don't think so. But
that would have been a far stretch.
But now any option of peace is just out the window.
It's over because of this, because of this whole situation. And the message does get across to Dragonstone, and Daemon delivers the message. And if Rhaenyra didn't lose everything already, she just lost a son, a baby son.
She lost her parents. She lost her baby son. She lost her crown
in a matter of a day, maybe two, the most. But dude, this is just terrible circumstances here. And Rhaenyra now, I think, and then we also see even Daemon tries to go up to the other dragon who has not been claimed yet, almost to provoke him. It looks like he's going to use that dragon. That dragon's pretty big.
So we see a lot of setups. So something's going to happen now. Yeah. So at the very end, it shows Rhaenyra take the news, and then it's a renewed spirit. If she wasn't clear in her decision, she is now.
Yeah.
She knows what she's going to do, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So again, we also see Daemon, find the other dragon in the dragon pit. You don't know what he's going to do exactly. So a lot of it's up in the air now. What's going to happen next season? Yeah. We're going to see a lot of stuff happen next season.
Yeah.
It's going to go down.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it's just so much has happened in this hour and 11 minutes. So much setups. And again, though, I'm so mad because I'm all like, no, it ends like that. And of course, it ends with Rhaenyra. Her facial reaction to the whole situation, to the whole outcome of losing a lot. She lost a lot. She really has. This past few days, she really has. So much of grief. So much it sucks too because you can't be more. I mean, you could mourn her son's death, but at the same time, though, she doesn't have the Iron Throne. There's so much chaos right now. The whole of the Seven Kingdoms. She doesn't know whose allegiance lies with anyone.
That's what's gonna be pivotal in next season. Is figuring out who.
We'll see if they have the Starks.
Yeah, we'll see if they have Starks. Because that's one thing we saw Luke and his travels to I think Step End or I forgot the place, but you see him travel to Storm's End.
Or Storm's End.
With Baratheon. But now we didn't really see Jace's travels to the north. So I really hope to see that next season. I'm sure they're going to show it.
Yeah.
But that's going to be very interesting because that really is going to decide how this goes,
crazy.
you know, because it's the north. Remember,
it's crazy.
Starks.
I can't believe it. We gotta wait 2 more years for this, and it ends just like this at the biggest cliffhanger ever. And it really and that's the thing too with Game of Thrones and everything. It really ends like that. It really does. It's just crazy. And so maybe obviously season 2 got greenlit at the beginning of this first episode and everything. So I mean, I'm pretty sure. All I know is that I was looking up Halloween costumes, right? Because we got invited to a Halloween party. All the Daemon costumes were gone. So essentially, people are loving this show. People are digging it. I see Twitter. Everyone's digging this show so far. So I cannot wait. Again, how Game of Thrones fans, we got to wait 2 more years. I can't believe that. Ugh, this sucks.
Well, I got to say, though, I absolutely love Princess Rhaenys's armor.
Yeah.
The very beginning or the end of last episode.
They should make a costume for her. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I love Queen Rhaenyra's outfit when she's crowned. She has a crown and the black cloak.
I want that
beautiful.
crown.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I really like it. Again, it's just this show has been so popular. Like Game of Thrones was one of the most recognizable shows. Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
This is a good follow.
I'm happy. I bought this shirt. We bought Syrax right here. I mean, I hope they come up with more pops of the other dragons too. Obviously not Luke's, but too soon. Oh god, too soon. But maybe we'll see. You know, and that's the thing too is that there's so much of a struggle of figuring out how to rule the 7 kingdoms, and Rhaenyra definitely has a lot to say. We're not going to mention any more spoilers because obviously if you haven't, but this is essentially the dancing of the dragons, the dance of the dragons. It really is. But yeah, what do you think of this episode, this whole season, this episode? I mean, what did you think of this whole outcome? If you were to give it 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest, what would you give this rating of this whole season? So
the whole season, I would say would be an 8, just because it has so much of the little nostalgia from Game of Thrones. We see so much. We see the Starks, the Lannisters, all the things that we love about Game of Thrones. But we also get to see a little bit more of House Targaryen, and the bloodline, and all that. So I really liked the way it unfolded. And I loved the time jump. So the first 5 episodes of being a younger Rhaenyra, and then the last 5 of being an older Rhaenyra with different actors. Yeah. And I really liked that they changed some of the kids' actors too as they aged. I really did enjoy that because, it really made sense in the time. Now, I'm curious if they're going to have as much time jumps in the second season. I would think not.
I would. It just depends how the book is, but I mean, they could go off script like they did with Game of Thrones the same way as well. But I'm going to give this, because this is in my top 10 or top 5 TV shows of all time to watch. It really is. It's one of my top 5. I'm going to have to give this a solid 9. A solid 9. It goes back to the nostalgia of Game of Thrones because it talks about the dagger. That's the same Arya dagger that she puts into the Night King. That dagger's been passed on to Jenner 300 plus years, 300, 200, whatever you want to call it. There's just so much of the nostalgia of Game of Thrones in this world, and I love it because it connects us. It makes us be like, oh, remember that? Remember that? That's the point of it. That's the point of this show, to make us fall the realm. Make us go back to the whole Westeros world, to the 7 Kingdoms, to the Red Cape, knowing where the Red Cape started.
We saw Harrenhal, we saw the Eyrie.
I didn't expect to really enjoy young Rhaenyra as much as I did. I loved young Rhaenyra. And I'm at a split because people were on Twitter. They were like, "Oh, which one do you prefer?" And people was commenting on, not asking me, but just commenting, saying, "Would you prefer young or older Rhaenyra?" And it's like, dude, I mean,
that's
to me,
hard.
to me, they're even.
Yeah, they're even.
I mean,
they both did such a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Even the young Alicent and the older Alicent.
Yeah.
Such a great job. Like they're such good, talented actors and actresses, and I really enjoyed both of them. I can't choose. I really can't. Between the young and the old versions, it's tough. But I gotta say, Damon's still my favorite. I'm sorry. I'm such a Matt Smith fan. I'm sorry. As much as you want to hate on the guy, he's not necessarily the villain, but he's a bad guy.
Maybe we'll see more nude Matt Smith.
But I really want to see. That's my hope for.
I remember on Twitter that was trending. I think it was hashtag of Matt Smith's penis or something. I was like, oh man, it's like a very, you can see it from a distance.
The whole internet.
I thought that was funny.
Fawning over Matt Smith. It's great.
Hey, that's all I'm saying, man.
The whole internet. But anyway, so I really can't wait for the next season. It's sad that we have to wait such a long time, but would it really be Game of Thrones if it wasn't such a long time? No, because that's how.
But the point is that the reason why they take this long though is because that way they get the story right, they get the filming right, the editing. That's why we always talk about the editing here. Is that the dragons are just getting more clearer and clearer.
Dragons are really, and it's not just like one dragon because like in the Game of Thrones you had just the three.
Not even the first. It was like later in the first season, but
and then eventually you just had it down to Drogon. So
Drogon. Oh.
So, but this one we have Daemon established. There's not only the 3 that the High Towers have, but there's 13 that are on in Dragonstone. Yeah. So, if they're gonna bring more dragons out, I would want them to take more time to design the way they look.
Also, the whole essence of Dragonstone, because obviously that's not real. So it's like they have to CGI that too. The whole building looks beautiful.
The inside, where they keep them. That's really cool. The Dragon Pit, I really liked it. So HBO, I appreciate HBO you taking you doing it right. So again, we're patient. We'll wait. Sucks, but I really can't wait. This I hated the way this ended because it makes me want to just watch the next season right away. Yeah, but I loved it because it was such a good ending to such a good series.
But hey, question is for you guys. What did you think of this season? What did you think of this episode? What was your take on this? House of the Dragon, The Black Queen, episode 10. Hopefully there's more episodes. I hope season 2. I really hope season 2 they capitalize on more than 10 episodes. I really think they should.
If they do like 8, I'll be very upset. I'll be so mad. Pissed.
I don't think they will because they know what happened last time that happened to 8 episodes and it was the last season of Game of Thrones. They learned their lesson. They do. So I'm excited. I'm excited for season 2. What season 2 has to hold for. It just sucks. We have to wait. But put on comments down below. What did you think of this season? What did you think of this? Are you for? Are you against it? Are you like, what the hell? You guys are crazy. It wasn't that good. But I guarantee you're probably going to think this episode was really good. But put on comments down below, guys. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for talking to us. And there goes our cat Gotham. By the way, doesn't care in the world. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have yourself a wonderful day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Kelly Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Check you later, guys. Stay safe, San Antonio.